Hey there, this is Philip from Beyond the Tabletop. In this video I'm showing you how I made some internal sponsons for the Leman Russ. So I'm still halfway through this project, but I thought it was a perfect time to show you what I've done and how I went about it. So I've never been a huge fan of the external sponsons from the Leman Russ, and I've always really liked the internal style sponsons from the Malcador tanks from Forge World. So I decided to do a conversion project where I took a Leman Russ and gave it some internal sponsons, and I've managed to scratch build this all from plasticard. So here's the internal sponson in place. It's not glued in place yet, it's just blue tacked in just temporarily, just so I can show you what it looks like all assembled. So as you can see, there's a faceplate with rivets, and there's a little vision slit facing out to the rear, and then the sponson is still movable from side to side. And then this can always be magnetised, so you'll be able to swap out the weapons. This faceplate can come off, and this is just designed to hide the hole where I had to cut everything out. Then on the back, you can see I've had to cut out a hole for the back part of the sponson, and you can see how far it comes out. And then this currently can come off. And then I've just got the sponson taped in place. So if I bring in the sponson from the right hand side, you can see how the back part looks on its own. As you can see from this internal back bit, it's just layered up from multiple sheets of plasticard, and I've just made sure I've cut it all to the right size. It's got a little indent which allows the sponson just to sit in place, like so. And then the lid is lipped and has a similar hole. It should just then sit in place like so, and that can still swivel freely once this is glued in place, and then the gun will either just be able to slot in completely freely like so, or it could be magnetised if you want it to stick in a little bit better. And then I also built a faceplate just to cover that front hole. It's also covered in tiny rivets. The rivets actually come from a Brita water filter. You just need to find some tiny little beads that are all a similar size, and then just drill into the plasticard ever so slightly, which will allow you to recess those beads. And then the internal strip of plastic on the right, that is just a cover for the back part of this sponson, and it also just stops the sponson from going too far backwards. So if I just build the right hand one all together, you can see the vision slit's just made up of a tiny bit of plasticard, and then I've got green stuff all over just to seal it in and smooth it off as much as possible. And the faceplate for the right hand side will just go over like so. For the right hand side one, I've not actually built this one yet. I'm going to save this for a little bit later, because what I want to do is a complete how-to video for you guys in terms of how to put this together. So I've been posting pretty regularly on Facebook and Instagram this project as it's been coming along. I've had an awful lot of positive feedback, which I really appreciate. Loads of people have expressed an interest in either getting a copy of these or a template so they can build their own. What I plan to do is cast these plasticard bits up in resin and do a limited run for anyone that is interested. If you are interested, click the link below in the description. It will take you through to a mailing list where I can keep in contact with you guys, I can gauge interest, and I can let you know when I'll be doing pre-orders for this. I'll only be selling these if I can cast these pieces up in resin to a really decent standard. If I can't, then it will just have to unfortunately be a personal project. But in that case, I will produce a template that you guys can download and you can scratch build at your own. Let me know what you think of this project. I started it pretty much a year ago, and then it's been on hold for an awful long time while I've been doing other things. So I'm really glad I can finally be finishing it off. I plan to do a couple more videos talking about the internal sponsons when I make the molds for these, and when I cast them up in resin. I plan to do that as a how-to guide for anyone that's interested in mold making. If you've enjoyed this video, please do give me a like. Feel free to drop me a comment below. As always, to be notified of future updates, hit the subscribe button. Check out beyondthetabletop.com, and also the links below to my Instagram and Facebook for daily updates. Until the next time, take care.